Hey, crypto heads! It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. We're back, and we got guests this time. Super excited about
Hey,
that. Hey, down there, the Bravo House spook seekers, not the
Wow.
spirit seekers, which I kept writing on Facebook. Like, definitely the spook seekers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Holly, for helping me with that and catching that before I let it go too far. But super excited to have you guys. But real quick, Denise, how's it going? How are you?
Well, it's like chaos at my house. Our fridge broke, so that's been.
Oh no.
It's you don't realize how much you depend on something until you don't have it anymore. But other than that, it's great. Can't complain at all.
Sorry to hear that. That sucks so bad. We've been through that. What's
just
up,
as long as
Isaac?
the beer's cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So how are you keeping the cold cuts cold?
I have a ton of stuff up at the seminary in the fridges.
Oh, that's good. At least you got them close by.
Yeah.
That'll work.
So in the lobby of the seminary, there's 6 18-packs of farm fresh eggs because I didn't know where else to put them.
I think I'll be taking a trip up to Madison here after this show. We just ran out of eggs, actually. That's awesome. So sorry. That sucks. But you're right. It's crazy to how much you rely on something until you don't have it. Stupid. Absolutely. But all right, let's get into it right away because we got a lot to talk about. Like I said, we got the B.O.S.S. They do it like a boss.
Like a boss.
Bravo House Spook Seekers. Why don't we go down the line? You guys can introduce yourselves and just kind of give us a little bit of information on you. Like, how did you guys get into this?
Oh Lord, thank God. Well, we all have a lot of experiences throughout our life with the paranormal, seeing different stuff throughout lives. And then, like my name is Randy Zimmerman. I'm the founder, and we were just sitting around bullshitting back in, I think it was 1999. We're all sitting around at my buddy's barn drinking beer, watching the Blair Witch, and we're like, hey, let's go to Rustic Par Hills and fuck shit up. Let's go out and do this. So from that, a week later, me and my cousin, we borrowed actually his brother's digital camera. It was a Sony, had night vision on it, and his brother's video camera. Went down to the cemetery down the road and started, and we never looked back ever since then. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the rest of them? Who's next? Who wants to go next?
I guess it's me. Bill Mortensen. I've been doing it with Randy.
Oh, hey.
Wrong
show. Sorry.
Wrong
show. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Let me
we don't
zip
judge
up
anybody, but it's a kids show. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I'm sorry, kids.
It's a what?
I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, we're all childish, but we're not kids.
Yeah, Darren, I remember you.
I don't remember me.
Okay. Bill.
All right, Bill, what's going on?
Same thing. When my twin brother passed, he borrowed his camera and all that, and it just started from there. We've had a few experiences before that, and I'm like you said, hey, we're watching Blair Witch. Let's go mess that thing up. So we never made it down there, but why not, right?
Who's next?
Hi, everybody. I'm Holly. I actually started ghost hunting probably in my early 20s, long before meeting Randy and them. Funny story on that. I was on a different team. We investigated together a couple times. And then life happens and you kind of stop for a while. One of our previous team members, she worked with Randy. Her name was Sue. She's Mexican and kind of mean. Randy.
She was.
No, he ghost hunted, so she was all about him. Well, then I was thinking about the same time, hey, I kind of want to get back into it. And wouldn't you know it? All of a sudden, the next day, he sends me a message. We had not talked in years.
Oh, wow.
So we started doing that. It was Sue's
lifelong dream to be part of a team. She said that throughout life, people made fun of her because she was interested in the ghosts and she would see things and people would make fun of her. So I started working at Revere Plastics, and I was I was a scheduler for her machine. And I went in there, happy-go-lucky guy, saying, "Hey, how's it going, man?" She was kind of mean at first, but then I noticed a book sitting down there that says Haunted Ohio stuff, and I was like, "Guess what? I ghost hunt." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I used to have a team on my own, man. I mean, we took a break, and that was it." She was my friend from there on.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we completed her bucket list.
Yep.
But unfortunately, 2 years
About 3 years ago.
about
yeah.
3 years ago, she passed away of COVID. So we all, and it's a sad thing, but as we say, everything happens for a reason. So me thinking it, and then him contacting me the next day, we've completed her bucket list, and and now here we are. We're just going strong with it.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Everything happens for a reason. So, and I'm the grammar police. Right here.
She's the one who told me that I was an idiot, and
exactly.
In a lot nicer words, though. I mean,
very nice. She was very nice. I was very thankful.
We're used to that. We're used to that all the
time. So here we are. And then
I'm Courtney. I'm actually Randy's daughter.
You got lucky once.
I've heard that a lot. I started this last year, so maybe like 8 months ago. I've always tried doing it with him. Like he would come home from investigation, or like he would be going over his evidence. And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, let me hop in." I'd help him and everything else. And then I've always wanted to go on one with him, but we had a rule: you had to be 18. Well, then 18, I had kids, so I had to wait for a little while. And now I'm here, and now I'm part of the team and everything else, and it's cool. It's fun. He said that he's glad that somebody's willing to take over the team, this after he passes.
I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit. Someone has to take it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's me.
That's really cool. I cannot wait till my daughter's old enough to go with me because she's already like chomping at the bit. She wants to go so bad, but I'm like, honey, most of these places you have to be 18 or older. So you gotta. That's really cool.
For years, and then we finally did it.
So we talk about your first time at the.
My first time, we went to a cemetery, and
this is Bill's fault for this.
Yeah, it's Bill's fault. We were all sitting on the line. I was at the end by myself, and I'm afraid of the dark. I know.
Same.
I know. Doing this, I'm afraid of the dark. So I was sitting at the end by myself, and Bill down there, he's like, "Oh, talk to somebody, whisper to somebody." I'm like, "Don't do it to me." He's like, "Yeah, do it to Courtney." And I'm like, "No, talk to Holly." So I got a male breathing in my ear. Just he wouldn't leave, and I hopped on my dad's lap, and I'm bawling my eyes out. I was crying. It was bad.
It was a Scooby-Doo moment.
That was my first experience, and then it was just I got used to it after a while. It's fun now.
We did
well,
not.
It's cool that you kept going back and you didn't let it get to you.
Yeah, you got to. That's how you first get into it, though.
Yeah.
Now, when are we going again?
You know how it is. It's that experience.
Yeah.
You're like,
that scares the crap out of you, and you're like, "Yeah, let's do it again."
Yes. Can't wait to go back. Now,
my first experience was in Mansfield. My very first actual like big ghost hunt in a big location. It was the public ghost hunt. It was like 100 other people, but I was with a small group of people, and you guys know that place is so massive. Even with that many people there, you rarely cross anybody. There's not really a whole lot of contamination unless you're with a bunch of assholes, which luckily
right.
But just seeing a shadow figure walk across in front of the room as I was walking into it, and I literally I felt everything drop to my feet. I ran out. I'm like, I didn't realize how far ahead I was of everybody. I was in there basically by myself. So I run out huffing and puffing. I'm like, "Did you guys see that?" They're like, "No, we're in a completely different room looking at something else." I'm like, "Oh no, shit!" But
you never know how fast you can run until you have to run for your life.
Right?
Yeah, I never felt something so gut wrenching and like, holy shit! But it was like a needle in my arm. Like, I got to get more of that. It's
right.
Right.
And how long ago was that? How many years ago was that?
45.
not quite that long. Let's see, my daughter's almost 16, probably about 17 years ago.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was when Scott Sukkel was still running the show, and
okay.
Yeah.
I know Scott. I investigated when Scott was there. I investigated there privately.
He was a good guy.
He really was.
Good guy. But let's
Really
what other you guys have been? You guys were just recently at Mansfield, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yep.
So
He was.
how did you guys do there?
Well, I went there for Dave's
Giuliano.
Dave Giuliano's event, and
Okay.
man, this pretty cool guy, awesome guy. I didn't know who he was when I first met him because we were a vendor at Mansfield, and I walked in was BSing with everyone, being who I am. Come to
Right.
find out, like, oh, he owns a ghost hunter store. No way.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I went there, and we had a lot of people, and all the rest of my team couldn't make it. So I wound up going off by myself, and the first thing I went to was the library. So as I was going in there, I felt something follow me in there. So I scoped around the area, then I set up my rope light, and let me show you what I got.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, all right. Let me
Let me
see.
get your screen big too, so we can see it even better.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, let
Now
me,
I know how big my forehead is.
Let me say hi.
See,
Yours just keeps going.
that's right. I got a 12 head.
Can you get around there?
there you
Get my phone.
Let me open it and unzip it.
You can unplug it.
Oh, there we go. I was
Yep, right.
making the wrong thing big. There we go.
Yep, can you see it? All right, this is what I
Yep.
got.
You gotta unscrew it from the side. Right there.
That figure right there in the middle, or kind of like to the right hand side.
Right
Yeah,
here.
right there. Yep.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
And I see nothing's there.
Yeah.
There's again. It actually came closer to me and afterwards and reached his hand out like he wanted to shake my hand. And I was like, buddy, I don't know who you are. You're in a prison.
Right. Yeah, you never know what a handshake in a prison could lead to.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
what's
really cool evidence,
is,
man.
What's cool is I actually have see in grainy when you blow it up, but you can see definitely here is where
Yeah.
he's looking a little bit of a direction, and then
Right.
I close this one, and then he actually turns a little bit. So he's turning there.
Oh,
How
okay.
was the figure? So that's when he actually next one he actually turns towards me a little bit more, and I was like, I don't know you. I'm just here by myself, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely was really cool being there and seeing everyone. And while I was walking around by myself, I was interacting with different teams there and showing what I got. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
we love the Paris icon. Darren said he saw you there too.
Mhm.
I feel like we've talked to you like 3 times in the last month.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to verify, Eddie, that was OSR.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What were you using for that? Was that like a
flare
Okay.
thermal camera?
Okay.
I was using my regular phone for the Facebook because I thought, well,
Yeah.
I've been really done Facebook Live a lot on our group page, and I
Yeah.
thought I'd do it up. So then it was pretty cool because as soon as I seen them on my thermal camera, I'm like, oh, I gotta do something real quick. So I'm holding 2 phones like this, trying to get to go. Yeah. You know how that is. Always have all this equipment you're holding.
Yeah.
Do you guys usually roll with like the crates and crates of equipment, or do you guys keep it simple?
Pretty much.
All depends. All depends.
Let me just say he's got an equipment addiction, so he has to have everything. So yes, we have everything. You name it, we probably have.
Now, what's cool is that like I was the original one in my area to have a thermal camera. I have this big, heavy thermal camera that for about 15 years, and every time I show people, it goes from this to a little thing that attaches to my phone. They're like, no way. Then I'm like, hold the original one. And they hold it, and then they're like, "Oh, it's heavy." I'm like, "That's why it was so big back then." Because I was holding it like this the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember like on the old school ghost hunters when they first started using it, it was like basically like a camera.
Oh yeah, yep.
That was like a wire attached to it, like a big monitor that he had to like they had to help each other carry it around. It was
Yep,
so
that's what I got. I got
the
little
phone
box.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, Heisenberg has the was it the Seek XR?
Yeah, I think the CKXR.
Yeah,
I got a flare thermal one. That's what I use.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more higher end. It has the ability to, instead of having like how it looks fuzzy on the shape, you actually see an outline of things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I've never seen anything of mine.
No.
You have to go out and use it.
Yeah, you have to use it, you know.
Sorry. Nice to meet you.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Just stared at the inside of your garage.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that at
I don't do
home.
that shit in my house. I've been in my front yard.
Well, you got that spooky place right across the street from you, so you could.
That's true. That's true. I could.
So do you guys like? Go ahead, Denise.
I don't like to do anything at home. Any
No.
test any equipment, nothing.
I'm not allowed to.
Our house is a doctor's office.
Yeah, well, I bought a big house. It used to be a doctor's office. I actually have a side entrance, and where we're at now used to be where he had his patients, you know. So we have roaming spirits all the time. And then the house next to us was built as a funeral home. So we have both things coming around all the time. And when I first got some equipment, we're setting it up on rope lights and stuff. And I was going to start going off. I was like, whoops, sorry.
We do have like something because up in my kids' room, they have a little something that likes to go in there and like play with them kind of thing.
Oh, cool, Crow.
Like there was one night I went on my baby monitor and I seen my kids and I saw two little legs in the middle of the baby monitor. And I was like, oh, you know, my kid's awake. I go in there and I walk in there. I look this way. I look this way. They're both sleeping. I look back. I went in my room, sat down. I was like, what just happened?
Oh my God.
So it's been there.
Yeah.
We have a baby monitor camera. I just wait for it every time. I'm just sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, can you record it? I was like, unfortunately, that one doesn't record, but we can get one that does.
I know. I go up in there and say, quit this shit. Leave this kids alone. Go to bed.
Yeah.
I go up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
I've
have
been watching a bunch of TikToks with people where their kids are talking to something in their house.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
My
that's
youngest
freaky.
does that.
Yeah.
No.
That's why Lincoln saw a picture of my grandpa that he's never met and hugged it.
Oh,
my son, when he was probably 3,
That's
he
cool.
talked about the 1950s all the time when he was
Wow.
2. And he'd be just like, oh, the 1950s. And he'd look at stuff like pictures and things like when we're out, and he'd look at them and just had like this, like it was looking at like a fond memory of the 1950s.
Wow.
And he would see my grandfather, my grandfather died when I was 18. So he never knew him. And he'd say, he's in here bugging me all the time. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, tell him to quit. I did, but he won't listen. He said.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, and even now, he's 18 now. I'm pretty sure he still sees spirits, but he doesn't want to do it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what new equipment have you guys bought recently?
Have we bought? Nothing.
Nothing?
I kind of when I first started, I was all We've actually just narrowed things down quite a bit. I mean, we roll with our recorders and then our audio recorders, and like I have a Jeff Fent spirit box that we use quite a bit, and my EDI device, which is just the EMF detector with the temperature gauge and the geophone on it.
Bro, you don't have to explain an EDI to him.
I guess not.
I'm like,
what was I thinking? It's not like we have new viewers on tonight that've never done this before.
Maybe not everyone knows what it is, you know. So.
You think that somebody like that's never ghost hunted before is watching this show?
No, I was kidding, dude. I too much information. So you know, an EMF is electromagnetic frequency. I'm just kidding.
Really? I didn't know.
No way.
I thought it was the name of a band.
Yes, it is EMF. Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, we bought a laser grid. Holly goes, hey, I was on TikTok. I'm seeing this laser grid that people are showing out. So
feed that addiction.
She gave me the information. I'm like, all right, I'm a tech guy. I gotta have it. So I'll show you a picture of the screen of the setup that we had. This is what we had on one of our investigations.
Okay, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have in this hallway, and we actually had a lot of activity in this hallway we couldn't explain. So what we did is I'll show you a picture of our activity. This is the activity we got. So as you can see right here, I'm pointing, see that little dot on the laser?
Oh, yeah.
It's hitting something. And actually the meter's going off and it's showing that there's something there. Something can't be explained, you know. So it's actually pretty cool seeing something work. So it actually gets kind of pissed off. It goes further away from it.
Yeah.
And then later on, towards the end,
that laser grid is that detecting movement?
Yes.
The flashing? Okay.
Something's breaking the laser. And it's detecting movement. It's also seeing it on the grid. That's what's flashing.
At the time, I was just recording the laser grid going off.
Now, do you hear the REM pod going off in the background? Got pissed off. You guys, I'm out here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
At the time, I was just recording. I wasn't even like realizing what was there at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're doing this whole town of Elmore. They used to do a ghost walk. So last year, I contacted the lady that's in charge of the library and also the lady in charge of the historical society. I was like, hey, you know, are you guys having a ghost walk? Maybe you need some help. And she said, well, not really. But if you want to, you can investigate the whole town and let me share the evidence.
It's probably been a couple years now.
Has it been a couple years?
Elmore. Are you guys from Northwest Ohio?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm from Port Clinton.
Okay. Awesome.
Monroeville.
Fremont.
Yeah, I was born in Fremont.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're just surrounding you is what we're doing.
Well, I got a story to tell you. When I was a little kid, my grandfather died in '86, and that was my first experience seeing him. He passed away when I was in school. So when I came home, they cleaned up the body and everything already. So that night, I was watching TV, and I heard this cane walk around the hallway and came around the corner, and he came around and said he's going home because he had a stroke before he died, and he didn't realize that he was living in Norwalk at the time, and he wanted to go home to Huron. So he said he was going home. He turned around, walked away, never seen him since then.
Wow.
Fast forward to when I met her mother was in Port Clinton.
Oh, wow.
So the house that I was at was drinking on Christmas Eve, Boone's Family Wine.
Yep.
I'm a big drinker.
Yeah.
And the house I was at was haunted, and I didn't know it. And it got real cold, and you got goosebumps everywhere. And we were dancing, trying to have a good. I was trying to get a piece, honestly. So I was sorry for audience out there. And it got real cold, and he explains to us that, hey, this house is haunted by a ghost named Cassie. Everyone knows about it. They have a room upstairs with a bunch of dolls catered to this ghost. So we didn't think I thought it was bullshit at the time, you know. So also got cold again, and her mother looks at me, eyes roll back, starts speaking in tongues. I was like, this bitch is crazy right here. What the hell? So
she's actually crazy.
Yeah, she's actually crazy. That's funny.
And you had to marry her.
So I shook her, and she snapped out of it. So then she was like, what just happened? I'm like, man, I think you're crazy. I think something's going on.
But he still ended up having kids with her.
Yeah.
It's always the crazy ones you have to look out for.
Yeah.
So it happened again, and this time she wouldn't snap out of it. So we got a piece of ice to shock her, and I heard it and carried over my back. We went away, but as we was walking out the back door, there was a guy dressed like a traditional captain's hat and everything back there, looking at me. I'm like, fuck, we gotta get out of here. So we end up zooming. I live downtown Port Clinton, and as soon as I got up there on the balcony, she flung me back, almost made me grab hold of the railing, and almost went off the railing. But there was the captain on top of the clock tower there.
Yes.
Yep. So I was like, holy shit.
That's the first time I heard that story. I knew
the courthouse.
There, but
Yes.
I never heard that story.
Yes.
Yep. So that was my big experience, and for a while she was attached to her mom for a little bit.
Yeah.
So finally it left us alone, but I was like, I should have known that once a woman is crazy and gets possessed by a ghost, leave her alone.
Yeah, probably shaking her is not the best idea.
Yeah,
But I want to go back. Our friend Jeff, the goat, as we like to call him, or he likes to be called, wants to know if you've ever heard of the Bel Air house, or if you ever been there.
Heard of
I've
it.
heard of
Heard of
it. We have not made it there yet.
No.
Do we have plan for it?
Because we actually have been not, I don't want to say stuck. We've been in the small town of Elmore for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's kind of consumed. I mean, not that I haven't enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's
been great.
every place we've gone, we've gotten amazing evidence.
Yeah.
So
and it's like normally when you do investigation, you have like maybe one or two things.
No.
We're getting like 10, 15 things and like high end stuff that you can't explain. I can let me see. I'll show it us here.
don't show them.
Just this last investigation was like crazy busy. There was stuff like nonstop.
So I'll share with you with the actual town hall. We're upstairs and we don't know any of the history of the town, but we are with a police officer who knows the history.
Did you know seeing her? Did you ever meet him?
Oh.
Seeing her?
So it's like that's the stuff we're getting.
Wait, what was that on?
That was on a. I have a regular phone that's showing just a rope light, and you use all evidence, all equipment you have. So it's just taking the EVP off this rope light on the showing the camera, because what's supposed to show is stuff like this, where it just goes off. That's what it's supposed to do.
For the night, basically.
Yeah.
But it's also catching all the EVP.
Yeah, everything.
But so you just caught that on a phone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right?
and I'm very tedious. Everyone has their own equipment, and I'm like, hey, let me see what you get, and if you have problems, give it to me. So I'm going over things again, and that's when I found everything. It's like, holy shit, I can't believe this is there. You can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
Elmore's the home of the headless motorcycle man.
Yes.
We haven't even gone there.
See, told you guys.
Who's the groundskeeper where?
Who?
Oh, at the Bel Air house.
At the Bel Air house.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. Elmore is just unbelievable, and every time we think we're done, we're not. They add more places.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I know it's amazing to have that just right there. At any point in time, we can call and they're ready to go.
Yeah, we used to go out there to scare the shit out of ourselves with that headless motorcycle.
I did too. When I was a teenager, we actually would like have someone cover up a headlight on their.
Oh my gosh! Did you chase us?
Maybe.
You did.
It wasn't me. I don't know what you're
That
talking
would be hilarious.
I'll share another one. This is a community center. It used to be the Masonic Lodge, and I'm upstairs with Holly, and who is a female that is.
No way.
Can you believe that?
Whoa.
No way.
I know.
We're learning all kinds of stuff tonight.
It's a wig.
So here's the EPB. This is where it gets good here in a little bit.
It's not good.
It will.
It's funny.
Show me that you are here to worship with your brethren.
Oh.
Telling her to be quiet.
Just for the record, I
That's
did
funny.
not listen.
Yeah, she did not listen at all.
I did not listen. No way.
I'm not gonna. When I first started investigating, if they were like, stop or leave or whatever, I would do it. Or if they were like, sit down, I would be like, oh, okay, and I would sit down. Now I'm just like, shut up.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me what to do.
I'll leave when I'm ready to leave.
Absolutely.
You just don't ask that question. There's no issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was at the Octagon House with Bump in the Night Society last weekend, and really cool place, by the way. I've never been in such a it's not a big place. It's just basically the first floor is just a big circle, and then you have the upstairs, which is a big circle. But a lot of us couldn't go upstairs. It was just really hard to get up the steep steps, and that middle staircase was so unstable they don't let anybody on there. But we just sat around the circle in the staircase, and we were getting so much activity. And then they started doing an Estes session with two guys up on the top floor. It was Freighter and Mikey from Bump, and then they had the spirit boxes going in their headphones. They couldn't hear us downstairs at all. So they were just spurting out what they were saying. But like literally, like nobody was provoking or anything. But whoever was there was getting like having this horrible back and forth with Jen from Bump. I mean, she actually posted it on the Bump in the Night Society TikTok, and it got pretty.
I was in the live that night. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was probably the craziest interaction I've heard. And she was, I mean, it was talking about her daughters. So, and she was like, it threw out a name of her brother who nobody knew was sick recently.
Yep.
And it was crazy shit. But I love when that stuff happens. It's just like it's like gets you going. You just want more and more and more. If I didn't have a 3-hour drive home and had to be here for Father's Day on Sunday, I would have stayed with them, but I had to be here for my kids. That was
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a pretty amazing live right there. That was a good investigation. Her flute playing top notch.
She panned in on me too for like a quick second, or Sean did, because I was like losing it the whole freaking time. Like I couldn't think straight. I wasn't paying attention to anything but listening to that flute. I was just dying. Like I don't know if you ever heard like on like TikTok or maybe it's YouTube that somebody plays the recorder, but they play it to all these like really famous songs, so like movie songs. Jurassic Park is one of them, and it's so out of tune and horrible. But like you hear like the background music of Jurassic Park, but she's playing the main part on this stupid recorder, and it's so bad that it's funny. and my daughter,
this is what you watch on TikTok.
Yeah.
What the?
My daughter plays it like when she knows I come home and I'm all grumpy and shit. She'll start playing it next to me without me knowing it, and I hear it and I just start losing it. I'm like, okay, I'm okay now. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
What's up, Becca, Shelley? Real quick, hey Cindy, if you're still on. Pezzy was on. Just trying to catch up with everybody watching. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. But okay, yeah, funny food stuff.
Night, Jeff.
Good night, Jeff.
Night, buddy.
So, I want to get your guys' opinion on something, especially because we're in the business of communicating with whatever it is, a different realm. Who knows? Whatever it is. But speaking of EMFs. Have you guys seen like all of the stuff that's going on with the Schumann resonance?
No.
Okay. I need you guys to look. I need you all to look at it after the show.
Okay.
So there is basically this constant running like graph of the EMFs that are between the ionosphere and the Earth. And it's normally like, little blips, whatever. And it's always steadily around like 7.8 hertz or whatever they measure it in. Well, in the last couple of days, it started totally like it's making patterns and it's doing all this crazy stuff. And it's at like 120 hertz.
Is there a UFO nearby?
What?
A UFO?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it has to be coming from somewhere. Someone had to be resonating some high levels. I mean,
it's been off the charts. And the last couple of times I've been investigating, it seems like it's so much. Like I'm not the kind of person that can walk into a room and go, "Oh, there's a woman in a blue dress standing over there." But lately, I've been like seeing things like crazy all the time, and I don't know if it has something to do with that. Okay. That's what it normally looks like.
Yeah. Right. But that's an idea.
Okay. Huh.
I'll see if I can look it up. But I just didn't know if anybody,
What's it called again?
It's called the Schumann resonance.
Schumann.
Okay.
Sounds like an episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Right?
It's so bizarre. I'll see here. I'll just pause this and see if I can.
Watching anything about aliens?
Make my screen bigger.
What are you doing?
You see it?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's like what it normally does. And then that's what it's been looking like for like a week now.
That's
now that you show it, I've been seeing things all over the internet about it. Yeah, it's crazy. Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, it's been wild. And it's not even when I'm investigating. It's like when I'm sitting at home, like I had to turn on my TV because you know how I feel. TVs are basically just giant scrying mirrors when they're off. I had to turn it on the other day because I was just sitting there and I just saw somebody walk across my TV, like the reflection. I was like, what is happening? And I don't know.
When I was at Fairfield for the con, we walked around a little bit before everything started, and as soon as I went in the basement, as soon as we got down in the basement, I'm like, oh, hi, and there was a spirit, a man standing there. I can't describe how I see things. Is not like I don't see a person, like in a blue dress, like you said. I just see energy. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just said, oh, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh, hey, there he is. It was plain as day right there.
I can see actual like what they're wearing. I can see the face and everything else.
Doesn't that get scary?
No,
I'm kind of used to it now.
Yeah.
So.
The only time it scared me, one time this was years ago, I was investigating a home. I was in the basement, and so it's got the shorter ceilings, and we're investigating, and I felt like one of my team members was kind of in my bubble, like literally like this, and I'm like, hey, get out of my bubble. And then it moved closer, and I'm like, and I turned to look because I'm like, dude, and it was not any one of ours team members. It was a spirit, and I could tell you exactly what he looked like, how tall he was. So tall in that basement, he had to like hunch over.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, well, who passed away in the home? Because I don't like to know anything before I go in. But they said it was an older gentleman that was like 6'2", and he always wore flannels. I'm like, well, that would be who I saw. So didn't scare me, but it was more like, whoa, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think when you're doing an investigation, it's one thing, but when you like wake up at 3 a.m. and somebody's standing at the edge of your bed trying to tell you like, hey, tell so-and-so I love them and I'm doing okay. That's where it would, that's where it would get to me.
Last time me and my boyfriend were laying in bed and we were just scrolling on our phones. And next thing you know, I got someone, they're like, oh, hi. And I was like, oh, hi. And I told my ex-boyfriend about it, and he like turned on his phone camera and he's sitting there, he's like, no, he's not about any of it.
We closed our door and it like opens up. And I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, that handle had to turn in order for it to open up. And she's like, I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
But just like last night, I hear my grandkids in there talking to someone. So I use the bathroom. This is like 2:00 in the morning. And I go in there, I'm like, leave them alone. Go to bed, Kaylee.
You did that last night?
Yeah, last night.
Okay, that's funny because last night I was sitting in my room and the mirror is across from the door, and I watched somebody walk in the bathroom to go into the room. And I was just like, all right, it is what it is.
Yeah, you just got to tell who's boss. Like, hey, this is my house. You got my rules now.
Tony, what did you do to end up in Facebook jail this time?
Yeah, I see you're watching from YouTube there, Guido.
Tony's joining us from YouTube. No, when we bought our house, I was much younger. It was like 13 years ago. And we were having a problem with spirits in our house. And they were like messing with my son and like presenting themselves to look like they had goat horns and all this crazy stuff.
Oh, shit.
So I talked to this woman who, first of all, was going to charge me $350 to cleanse my house. Like I should have known better. I didn't know all the people that I know now, so I didn't know what else to do. So I talked to this woman, and I said, I can't afford $350. And she said, okay, go to the dollar store and buy those religious candles. She said, light one of them and then say, this is my house. You need to get out of it. You're not allowed to be here. You need to leave. So I did that. Then my kitchen cabinets started opening on their own, and my light switch would turn, but only like halfway, and it would be like buzzing because the electricity was like just barely going through it.
Yeah.
It was so scary. Like it got 10 times worse when I did that. Like, I don't know that anybody can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people. I mean, I've talked to some people.
Trying to get you to pay the $300 because that's what you do. You should stir shit up.
She sent it over.
All right. So have you guys ever been scared on investigation?
Yeah, every time I go.
well,
yeah, absolutely.
I have a video. I have it as a badge of courage that I had. This is probably about.
This is my all-time favorite.
This is probably about 13, 14 years ago.
Favorite video.
I went to school for graphic arts, and right after we started ghost hunting, I heard that Erie, PA has a horror festival going on every year, and I was going to enter the short film contest based upon Gore Orphanage. Do you guys know what the Legend of Gore Orphanage?
Yeah.
So I wanted to film actually down in the Hollow at the Swift Mansion ruins, and I never been there yet. We thought it was something that was BS. We hear about the legend, and we just went down there. It was me, Bill, and my cousin Matt. And went down there, and
that one.
And we went. we went down there to film
this
like,
didn't
the
happen.
site of the location. So I had this regular camera. I'm going around checking out, the daylight, the lighting because it's in the hollow. So I'm feeling something, around me. I'm like, oh shit, something's up with this. So we hop in the car, and on the way back, we have to go over this bridge. He stops, and he's like, hey, I read on hauntedhow.com, there's something about this bridge.
Yeah, you sit there facing out the way you came in. You had to put your foot on the brakes, turn off your headlights, leave the car running.
It's probably a legend that's usually on bridges.
Right.
So
yeah.
So it was getting dark, and it got cool, and there was a mist forming over the field. So all of a sudden the mist came up, and it touched the car a couple of times and went back. Touched the third time, it formed to a woman. She started walking around the car. I'm like, holy shit.
Bill said, holy shit, gotta go.
Bill's looking in the mirror, gotta go. Took off, right? So that's the backstory. All right. So that warrant investigation, right? So as we are ghost hunters, we try to debunk things. So the next couple weeks later, I had the team set up. I had three people inside the car with all night vision cameras. I had one facing the car. I was a ways back with my cousin Ollie with audio recorder and my thermal camera.
It was safe, right?
Yeah. So we were in there, and all of a sudden we hear a noise that looks like a woman screaming. So I turned towards him, and someone walked out of the field with a moonlit night, and I seen it standing in the middle of the road. So it did like a stutter step, came behind him, formed into a person, and this is what it did. Hold on, I'll share my screen. I got on camera.
This is the best video
whatever.
Best video ever.
Just for the record, I was not with them at this time.
Neither was I.
All right.
There's my dad.
In the flash. And that's my cousin. Look how big he is. He was like, I seen you moving, I moved too.
Listen, in the business, that's what we call it. Nope.
Yep.
And I almost forgot the camera.
I almost forgot the camera.
It's pretty bad when you almost forget your equipment.
So of course, let's see, I got to play the scream so you guys can hear it.
No, go back. Back.
Hear the scream? It screamed at me.
Then they screamed.
Then it screamed again.
You can hear
Run like the wind, bullseye.
It was like Forrest Gump. Run like the wind blows.
So
That's amazing.
So the funny thing is, after we left, we went up the road to a gas station, and they were explaining what happened. And I told them, and he was like, holy shit. But no one wanted to go back. So even though I ran, no one didn't want to go back.
Not
So.
familiar.
Randy, Lauren would like to know, where's the video, Randy?
Oh my gosh, Lauren. Oh my gosh. Where's the video?
The backstory on that is Lauren was at Mansfield the same night Randy was there, and Randy showed her. Well, I think he made a TikTok of it, but she wanted his actual, thermal. She wanted to see the thermal, and she kept asking for it, and he'd be like, "Oh, I haven't gotten to it yet," blah blah blah. So now it's. Where's the fucking video, Randy?
It's on my phone now. It's actually on my drive for the computer that I'm using, but it's in the other room. So I would show it, but sorry.
Sounds like a lot of excuses to me.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what Lauren says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best video ever.
You come on my show and you don't have the video.
Right.
I know.
I know, right?
Well, actually, that's why it was funny because we set this up and I just like shit. I left my memory card and everything in the other room. So.
Right.
Yeah. See, Lauren did it. I did show it to her on last Saturday.
She did get to see it.
She was happy with it. So.
Absolutely. It was a good video.
It was a good video. Yeah.
It was a great video. Then she got to see it.
Yeah, I know. So that was my scare moment, and ever since then I've been, I go up on myself all the time now because you get to get that one scare out of you, and that's what it was because I didn't know what to do.
Speaking of scares,
you did the right thing. You ran, man.
I mean, that's exactly.
You bailed.
Run, dude, run.
So we tend to, be really super serious when we're on investigations. So we never joke or play pranks.
Never.
Boring.
No.
Yeah.
This is my twin brother.
So hold on. This is the town hall that we got that great EVP from. Well, we were kind of tired at this point. Hold on. I hear them.
This is my twin brother.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Nobody can really
look how fast she moves too. Cat-like reflex.
I even had the cat eyes right there.
Yeah.
Here they come.
I think he should have pants.
I'm telling you, it's my twin brother.
Nobody could replace that.
Hey, notice I didn't jump. See?
He did not jump.
That's because you're behind me.
I know.
And even if it's left on your forehead.
It wasn't on.
That's classic. I love that.
Like I said, it's my twin brother. That never happened.
We do take things seriously, but
we gotta
have fun.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, you got to.
I got Ray in Bull Licking County Jail doing this, peeping through the whole whatever that is, the view
the window at the end.
Yeah, the window at the end. I just stuck my head in there, and just happenstance, he actually just looked right at me, and I was just like.
Yeah, we were at where Darren Smith works at the Old Licking County Jail, and when you go up into the cells, there's like a catwalk that goes around the outside.
Okay.
Well, the actual cell hallway is in between, like a line right in between, and the cells are here. Then there are catwalks around the side like that. We were just doing our thing, and I was walking all around, but at the end of the hall is there a big open hole. I didn't see him, and I didn't have my flashlight on because I'm a rock star, right? You don't use your flashlight.
And you forgot it probably. Go ahead.
Yep, I did. But I'm working my way around, and I just see this face, and it's freaking Heisenberg sticking his head through the window. Hey. I think that's the most I've jumped in a long time.
He jumped pretty good.
I popped in the and was had to limp down. It was horrible.
Yeah, my daughter scares easily.
You walk around the corner too fast in the house, and I'm screaming.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
I do not scare easily. I never have. My dad put me through training as a child. He would hide around corners, and pretty soon I just go, oh, and that's all you get out of me. I know
I'm full on screaming.
I was like, your dad put you through ghost hunting boot camp? That's pretty cool.
I know, right? I didn't even know at the time.
Yeah. My dad was the same. He did the same shit to me.
All the time.
I'd
find every friggin' corner possible. After a while, the first few times you yell, but then you're just like, okay.
Yeah, where I grew up, like our wall, like kind of divided us, like with the kitchen and the living room.
Okay.
But there was just enough where I could sit in the chair with my back to the wall, and he would reach around with his hand, and just like slam me like right in the face and scare the shit out of me.
We had these trails in Oak Harbor that we would go down in our mini bikes in the friends' woods, and they would jump out at us on those.
Oh my god!
I was like, woo.
Well, me and my best friend would be coming home late at night as teenagers, and we had this big bush by the back door, and he would slide between the house and that bush, and every single time, I got used to it. I'm like, he's gonna be there. I know he is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't jump. But my best friend, man, she'd be screaming every single time, and it never got old for him. I'm like, well,
my dad tries to hide behind walls right now, and like I'll come down the back steps in the kitchen. He's hiding around the corner. I'm like, Dad, you're too big to hide. I saw you run.
That's funny.
But I still screamed it, so it's fine.
No, we actually ghost hunted in the cemetery Oak Harbor and got some pretty good stuff.
That was my first.
Oh, wow.
That was my first ghost hunt.
Yeah.
That's where my grandma and grandpa are buried.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we got some real good stuff. We could
on the older side. On the
by the river.
Yeah.
Well, no, the river is the newer side. There's another section. So if you're going through Oak Harbor, it'd be on the right, and the one on the river is on the left.
It's like a shed, like a garage.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something said my name. And
that's where I got my first experience. That's where I jumped and cried in my dad's lap.
We get all kinds of tripwire evidence just sitting around talking. It's just blinging left and right.
I jumped off the railroad bridge in that town.
That was not very smart.
What?
My dad did it, so I did it. My dad did it when he was young, so I was like, I'm doing it too.
Badge of honor. Yep, badge of honor.
There you go. I never did. I walked the tracks all the time, but I didn't jump off.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was just talking to a team that was at the seminary the other day about they were freaking out about their name being said on an investigation. What do you guys think about that? Like, I personally think they know everything about you when you walk through the door. Like,
I do. Well, typically I introduce myself because like I would introduce myself to you or anyone else. I'm like, hi, my name is Holly. And the person that was with us said, hi, my name is Sue, and this is Holly. And then the next thing you know, you're hearing, Holly. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It was all on voice recording. And I'm like, next time I'm just saying, I'm come up with
Sounds like they're cheering you on.
I know. I was like,
we did an investigation at the Elmore Cemetery, and when we were getting ready to go, we had a ghost app going on my daughter's phone, and it was saying, "Randy, don't go."
Yeah, we were getting ready to leave. It was
so
just
that's
like
even cooler,
like a ghost recorder, a voice box kind of thing. And we were getting ready to get in the car. I said, "Randy, don't go." And I'm like, "Dad,
you gotta stay, man. You gotta stay."
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that means go.
Yeah.
Right. That means.
Well, I'll show you. This is a video that we had taken of the cemetery I was just talking about, and so when I see things, I don't like to tell anyone I'm looking at something or anything if they're with me because I just want to see what they see or feel. So, see that image right there in front? It's walking. It's on my thermal camera. It's walking by me.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
There was. So Holly says there's someone walking in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there is. Hey, so it's kind of nice when not just me can see it. This is actually my 2 daughters with me.
That was me on the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kept asking us to sing like children lullabies kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So we're singing Five Little Ducks.
What we saw?
We went to. This is the same thing. I got woman in white, and actually we just went back there a couple weeks ago with another team that Holly knows from TikTok that we met at the Mansfield and got some crazy stuff. We had off the wall stuff happening evidence wise.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Where's that? I can share that too.
That night was like constant.
Yeah, constant.
It was good.
So we have a rope light here.
Yeah.
My secondary rope light up here, a ways from, and then what was this thing?
The flux.
A flux.
So the red and the green, yes or no kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
So you see the top one go
Top one
off.
going off, and the flux is away a little bit.
It's trying to focus.
Trying to focus.
There's red.
Red.
And then I think both tripwires go
Yeah,
off?
Oh,
here
they're
a little
going
bit,
off
both tripwires go off.
constantly.
There they go.
And they're far away. There's no electricity running by or nothing. The K2,
Yeah.
we went
Like
on the
the
ground.
one further away, that was up on like a little hill.
It's crazy. It's stuff that you get that you're not expecting. You know, and
Yeah.
I think we had every item that the ghost stop was selling because that's what he bought his stuff from. So
Yeah.
all this around.
They were going off in sync, like the same amount of lights and the same lights on each of them would go off at the same time.
Wow.
But they were so far away that we couldn't explain how that was happening.
Now we're
Oh
actually
wow, yeah.
he's actually doing a thing where he has cards. I got better video. I brought the audio up, and they actually the lights coincide with questions asking about this card. If there's a 3 of clubs or whatever it is, and I got this ain't the one where I brought the audio up, but it's on another hard drive.
He's not prepared.
I'm sorry.
You know, we've honestly just been unbelievably busy this year with all of the things that are up and coming. I know there's definite things planned every month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's not including all the other investigations that we need to plan and schedule.
Right.
So, you know, people don't understand it takes a long time to go over all that evidence.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you're there for
That's
4
why we
hours.
don't do it.
You know. So
At the end of the day, we just end up with the subjective experiences.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I want to investigate with you guys in Northwest Ohio.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, anytime.
You're a little far away.
My mom lives in Port Clinton. My dad lives in Marblehead. So
There you
Okay.
go. Awesome. I'm gonna come up and visit. The next thing you'll leave. Where you at? On Ghosting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one area we really haven't been except for your dad's cottage,
yeah,
which was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
yeah.
Cool. Especially up there by Marblehead. I know we went to Johnson Island and had some good things happen out there.
Yeah.
See, I've heard
Yeah.
there was the old Wisedale that the statue would turn.
I don't know about
All the way.
That's what, yeah, that's what my mom went and tried to watch it one Halloween.
I don't know that the whole statue moves, but I think because he's a soldier, he's holding a gun that has like the strap on it, and they're saying that the strap or the gun moves or something, and I don't believe it. I've never seen it, so I'm not gonna believe it.
That's
Right.
cool. That's a Confederate graveyard.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And rich
I've always
houses,
wondered-
rich people.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh my. There are some amazing looking houses out there.
They have signs that say, "Please do not go down this road."
Mhm.
They do, but I do. Like, sorry, I got lost. I paid $2 to cross this bridge. I'm driving this whole island.
We went during the garage sale, so we didn't have to pay. We just
Oh,
parked
okay.
instead of going to the garage sales. We went to the cemetery.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see Johnson's Island from my dad's house.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's
Have
cool.
you guys ever had a ghost horse before?
Mm-mm.
No.
All right, let me see the. I can open it up. Hold on.
Austin was in Marblehead.
All right, I'm sharing a ghost horse picture.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of
As
hard
you
to
can see,
see.
here's the head, the body. It's actually looking up, and there's the 2 legs.
Where was this at?
This is at Blue Bridge, outside of Monroeville, Ohio.
It's hard to see unless you
Yeah,
do
it's hard to
lighting.
see. That's why I'm trying to zoom it out.
Oh, it actually looks better like that. I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing when we get blowing things up, you lose it. Because like I know
Right.
that
Yeah.
I see something on my phone, I can see it plain as daylight, but as soon as I blow it up on TV, I'm like, what did I see there?
Well, it helps because he has a giant TV. Too,
Well, yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah, this caught me by surprise.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Down there, I'm like, took a picture of it. I felt something was over there in that area, and I took a picture. I'm like, it's a ghost horse. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, a few times I've actually like reviewed evidence. I've never really tried to alter it or edit it too much. I feel like you lose stuff, especially with like audio. Sometimes it just sounds too robotic once you fiddle around with it and try to clean it up.
The only thing I like
it's either there or it's not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like,
the only thing I do audio, I just bring the volume up. That's all I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Other than that, I don't do anything else.
And it's weird too. A lot of times, like I can't hear something that somebody else is hearing.
Right.
So I'll turn it up, and it just distorts it more. But I'll turn it like way low, and then all of a sudden I hear it, and I'm like, "Holy shit! I just heard it."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Or sometimes if I'm like far away from whatever they're playing, if there's like playing a recorder, most people put it like this to their ear. I have to like step away from it, and then I'm like, "Oh no shit, I hear it."
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't.
So you guys, have you future investigations lined up?
Well, we need to work on that actually.
No, I just talked to Sarah about Shaylorsville.
Did you?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Shaylorsville, Ohio, which is in Portage County. I live in the area that I grew up in still, basically about half an hour away. But I'm friends. It really aged me when I started talking to the Shaylorsville Historical Society. Talking to like friends I went to high school with that are members of the Historical Society now. When we were in high school, we thought like the Historical Society people were all like the elders, like the old people that have nothing better to do than sit around and talk about the history of the town. But I really started getting interested in it and being a part of it and learning that a lot of the people that work for the Historical Society were having experiences that they couldn't explain there. So we kind of have like the end, like we're really the only team. Like we did, like the three of, well, it was just the two of us, wasn't it? It was me and Denise. We did a live stream show because Heisenberg couldn't go, but we've gone there several times, and I think pretty much every time we've come home with some kind of activity or some sort of evidence. The best EVPs I think I've ever had came out of there.
Yeah, we had a couple good ones there.
Which I need to get like on my computer so I can play them on the show so you guys can hear them. But, just really clear.
One of the theories about Shaylorsville, because it's a historical society, they're always bringing in like new stuff, like new antiques, new artifacts, whatever. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that things can attach to stuff? And
yes. Mm-hmm.
With us doing that, small Elmore, and doing it for the Historical Society, they too have all of this older stuff
displayed everywhere.
Displayed literally everywhere. So, I'm not sure if it would be the building itself or something they brought in, but it's a high possibility that it could be.
This is such a weird topic to me. Because I do 100%. We've brought stuff into the seminary and, then the activity ramps up or like you end up talking to somebody new or whatever. But like, it really bothers me like that. Okay, you bring in an antique sewing machine and it brings a spirit with it. Like, is that spirit like with the sewing machine all the time? Like, that's it.
Yeah, right. That yeah.
And then like hopefully it's residual and not like their actual spirit being attached to the sewing machine, because we talked about it before. Then wouldn't like landfills be the most haunted thing ever because we're throwing away all this old furniture and stuff? So like, why are we not like
landfill and antique shops?
Yeah.
And hoarder houses. I mean,
like, I get really weird feelings, like, because my wife and I go to like these secondhand stores all the time, because she looks for the things to upcycle for her crafts, like her gallery, and I get like weird, like kind of nauseous feelings sometimes when I pick something up that I think looks cool, and then like all of a sudden it's like got a weird energy to it. I'm like, okay, I'll put that down. I don't think. But like going back to Shalersville, I've had a couple of different psychics in there. We had Tina. I had Tina in there one time, and she was watching us when we were doing the live feed. When she was there and somebody else was there, the first time they walked in there, they're like, "This is messy." She's like, "That's all I could say. Like, that's the only way they could explain it. It's just very messy. Like, there's so many things. Like, it feels like there's people that belong here, but a ton of people that just have like residual energy all over the place. She's like, it's hard to like discern what's what until like she really sits down. Like, she really got to focus." Because I mean, as soon as you walk in, you got all this stuff just sitting right at the front door. That's all been donated by different families all over the area. That, I mean, we're talking like military uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things like that meant a lot. It like hold very strong symbolization for people. You know, that's my military uniform. I fought for a country in that thing. You know, there's a lot of like imprinted energy on that stuff.
Yeah.
I like Lauren's comment. I like Lauren's theory.
What is it? I think items are like keys to a door, not especially attached to anything more, so then they can open up that connection. Yeah. And I don't think the objects are haunted. I just think they're imprinted with that person's energy.
Right.
And like different levels depending on how much. I mean, a teddy bear you held on to for like the bulk of your childhood. I mean, my daughter still has this stuffed puppy dog that my father bought her when she was a baby. She still has it in her room. It's the only thing that she has left on her bed.
Yeah.
So I can imagine like later on, you know, that it's got her energy all over because she squeezes all that emotion she puts into it. If she's scared or she's sad or she's happy, you know, that all goes somewhere. I mean, it's physics. That all goes somewhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. It's wild. We brought somebody donated an antique trunk. It was from 1897. It was like one of the traveling ones where you like open it up and it's like a little closet.
Yeah.
You know, there's drawers and everything inside of it. And the day we brought it, the team was investigating in there and they said that it was vibrating, like it was on a train or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's weird.
That's weird.
When we were at Mansfield for Parapsychon, Christopher and Philip St. Booth had their big setup down in the bullpen. So I went down there, was talking to him, and I said, listen, I'm going to bring my K2 down here and my Paralight because I want to see some of the stuff he's gotten from like Africa and what have you. So I'm setting the K2, and he told me which ones he thought were full of energy and which ones were empty, just empty vessels. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm using the K2, and the one he said was full, the K2 was going off right in front of it. And it's just a wooden statue, you know. And
they had some crazy stuff there.
I didn't get a chance to stop by their table.
Huh?
I didn't get a chance to stop at their table and see what they had.
I didn't walk around that much to look at tables, I don't think.
Yeah, Lauren, their setup was amazing. They had so much stuff. It was unbelievable.
But it was so much stuff. Like, why would you bring that into your home?
No, well, I mean, I loved it. So
I mean, I have an out. Like if I have something and I feel like there's something attached to it, then I just bring it to the seminary. You know what I mean? So then cool, you're attached to this. All right, I'll come and visit you and I'll come and talk to you, but you don't get to come in my house.
So do you think it works if what's your theory on if a spirit is around you? Do you think you can just tell it to leave you alone in a forceful manner and it will leave you alone?
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think so.
You almost have to. You almost have to think that. You almost have to believe that.
I think that in a way, yes. I think that like, okay, if I have something that's bothering me and I tell it to leave, I don't think that it's my words. I think that it's my intentions. And like by saying that, I am like creating a boundary. You know, like I'm creating my protection. So I don't think that the words made it go away. I think that I'm now protected from it.
Right. I don't think so because the thing that messes with my kids, I've yelled at it, my dad yelled at it.
But you have to be.
I don't think so.
It could be more than
one. Not protecting themselves.
Right. It's not the kids. Yeah.
It could
I
be
tell
more
them to get the fuck out, man. Usually they do.
That's not very nice to say to old ladies that follow you home.
That's true.
Oh, I don't say it to them. I let them stay here for a little bit until they start messing with my Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then there is a couple things, like there was the little kid, and then my youngest daughter, she's 4, and she was telling me that there was just a man in there.
Mhm.
And she was like, he's right there behind the door, and I'm like,
Yes,
okay, tell it to go by.
I would move.
I would. See, I live in the house I grew up in, which is haunted. And throughout time, so as I bought it as an adult, my child, he was always fine to take a bath. He was probably 4 or 5. Now, mind you, the bath is right by the kitchen, so I could see him. He's in there playing, and then a week or 2 later, he says, I can't go in there anymore by myself. I'm like, why? He's like, something's around. There's a little doorway, and he said, something's right there. It's going to come and get me. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm thinking, he's just afraid, Well, my older stepson, he's like, something's in that bathroom, and you need to make it get out of there. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't believe him. I thought they were just screwing around and being kids. And
right.
So I go in there, I'm taking a shower, and something hits the shower curtain. Shower curtain moves. I'm like,
you pop out like this.
Who's
Hello.
in here? And it was, I had to tell it is not allowed to be in my bathroom. Absolutely no.
Right.
Especially while you're showering.
Especially while I'm showering.
That should be awkward.
I always tell them if they appear in any mirrors, we're going to have some issues.
Making it afraid to a whole other level.
But after saying that and setting that boundary, he was able to go in there by himself. So there was no more issues.
I think the intention set boundaries. I don't think it vanquishes the spirit.
It wasn't around the bathroom. He's in the rest of the house, and we see him all the time. But
Yeah.
I think you can get rid of them.
I like him.
Why? You guys can't prove me wrong. This is a philosophy, man.
You're wrong, Heisenberg. Shut up.
Did your son hear you do that?
What?
Yes, he hear me say it.
That'd be freaky though. The bathroom.
Then maybe he just felt like he was protected, and then so he protected himself.
Exactly.
You just don't want him to leave because you like him seeing you.
I do that all the time. I'm in the bathroom, like, get out of me, get out.
Yeah.
Wrong demons.
Wrong demons. Get out.
Foul demon spirit, rip yourself from my body.
He does do that sometimes.
All right, Ray, you didn't have to add the sound effects.
All right.
The sound effects are truly real because you can hear them down the hallway in the other part of the house. The sound effects are definitely there.
Oh, daughter's plight.
Yeah,
Hearing the dad screaming poo down.
my secrets.
Absolutely.
Now, talking about spirits, I have an EVP I can show with you. This is the community center from downstairs. This one's kind of cool because
That's me.
yeah, that's corny there.
We all see.
So as you see, it says we all see. So what is pretty cool is that earlier on, I'll do.
You show your Ghostbusters costume?
Oh yeah, here. This is a cool one.
It's really nice. It is a good one.
Oh my gosh.
You should try going to the movies with him when he's dressed as a Hulk or full Batman costume.
Can't help it.
Mask and everything.
That's awesome.
Okay, now I want to go to the movies with them too.
Right.
Everybody, like, there was Black Widow, we had Captain America, the Hulk,
awesome.
We had the whole crew.
Yeah, I was the Hawk, of course.
I was the person to take pictures.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that I would be Thor.
He did dress up as Thor. He had the wig and
this last
everything
one,
else.
did Thor.
You know, my regular body mass, you know.
Excuse me?
Yeah. So,
Well, if you're Thor, I'm fat Thor.
You're not the only Viking here, Ray.
yeah. So what's cool is that
Right back.
Okay.
All right. We have which one is it?
The laugh.
Does it look like? Dude.
We had that.
All right, so So Wyatt, this is Wyatt. He lives in Elmore and he owns a local garage, and we did investigation there. So this is taking place on October 30th, which is so that we can actually enter the investigation on Halloween. So he wasn't doing nothing, and Holly seen popped up on our Facebook, and Holly was like, "Hey, come on down." So he comes down, and he's with me at first, and he was here 2 weeks ago for a diaper party. So he had a couple of things happen, and I leave the room. He's by himself. So this is what happens. You see the little blink?
Yeah.
Little blink rope light, and actually the other image, the grandpa went off too, but he can't see it. So kind of freaked them out.
He's like, "Yep, I'm out of here.
I'm out."
He was like,
"Later, guys."
Yeah, see you later.
Do this.
Peace out, demons.
Yeah.
Later.
It's funny.
He was so scared that day. It was so cute.
So then he goes upstairs thinking he'd be safer with the ladies. He was not. So he goes upstairs, and Holly's right away is like, "Oh, come here, little. I know you was a little bit scared, so I'll play the little sequence that happens with him." So this is through Holly's doing TikTok live. So
I don't really put it on though because you can see the K2 hits. Yes. Yes. So where is your phone? I'm gonna take your phone away.
I'm taking your phone away, I say.
Poor kid. Never been the same.
Okay.
I think she finally realizes she needs more light here in a bit.
He is now standing beside Wyatt. He has no electronics on him at all.
For the love of God, bull in a china shop.
Check it.
So as you see, his K2 is just going crazy. So Holly, being a debunker, goes in there as investigation does, checking and making sure nothing's in there, setting it off. This one thing you gotta do is when you're investigating, you have to make sure the evidence you got is real. That there's no outside influence. Yeah.
Holly is the top debunker.
Yeah.
I will go to every extent to try to figure it out.
I think the last time it took us like an hour.
I don't want.
So like I said, Wyatt went upstairs thinking he'd be safe. So Holly's using him as a guinea pig. so we go from there. Funny. There's actually more. What else do here? I think it's here. So
can you light up one of the other devices to show us that you are right there by Wyatt?
Still going.
Yeah, his is still going.
Poor kid.
Poor kid. He didn't know what to do.
Scared.
He was.
He was.
He was shaking a little bit, I think.
I call that trial by fire.
He ended up just like.
It's pretty random. Taste. Are you tasting Wyatt?
What?
Like, I'm out. I'm out.
You're like, I might have to tap out of this. Like, no,
He's out.
So now I moved a little bit, thinking.
Okay, so now mine and the chair's going out.
Yep.
So that was the Masonic Lodge, the old Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
Poor Wyatt.
He was 100% the guinea pig. Something really truly liked him, and we ended up. I said, okay, let's prove this. So I had Wyatt move, and I had her sit down, and the KT was going off a little bit, but not as much. And then I said, can you go from her back to Wyatt? And he was holding it to K2, and it did.
At that time, he was saying,
actually, I have a video of that. If you want, I'll share that one with you too.
I mean, and that's
nice.
when he tapped out. He was done.
Wyatt's in the middle of the room. Can you go see Wyatt? Can you go see Wyatt? Why is it? That's so odd that it's right there. Go down to the step.
This is Courtney now,
that's
sitting there.
Me.
Oh. Okay, go back up. Go higher. So it's this thing. That doesn't make sense. It's not on the floor. It's not on the floor. It's not on the floor.
It didn't like me sitting there. Like I was getting a shooting pain in the middle of my back.
Wow.
Thanks, Marvin. I look good in it too.
Okay, now why is this going off?
That poor boy.
Poor boy. He wrapped himself up with a hoodie and everything because he was scared.
Yeah, he put his hood up.
I know it's dark, but I can see the "why do I do this" look on his face.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
He's like, someone take this thing.
so basically, his
Stop
shop,
blinking.
his shop was he had experiences there, and we went and investigated, and we definitely got some stuff there, and probably I like the SLS on occasion.
Yeah.
There's definitely something that one of his employees felt, and we got actual evidence of what he felt, but I didn't say anything until after I asked him about it, and he didn't know anything about it until at the end of the night.
All right, I'll show you what we got on the SLS.
And this is short.
Okay.
This is short.
And you'll see me shining a flashlight up there trying to
So you can
debunk
see,
it.
you can see the part here where you're seeing us, and this appears here.
Yeah.
Now, what is pretty cool is that she shines the flashlight on there, thinking that maybe there's something might be there to get a false reading, because you actually when you have the SLS moving around, you get false readings sometimes.
Right.
But when she shines the flashlight up there, there's actually nothing up there.
Get the crap out of me.
Okay, it goes up higher. See, there's nothing in there that would make an image.
Right.
But then it falls.
Yeah. So at the end of the night, one of his employees said, back in that corner, which I didn't tell him about, he said, I always feel like somebody hung themselves from that beam.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crap.
And with that SLS footage of it falling, SLS footage is either there or it's not. It doesn't
drop.
And it dropped. So I said, well, I think you might have a good feeling on that one.
Yeah.
So that's just some of the highlights of that.
That was pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Like crazy stuff. I mean, you won't expect going into a garage having the things that happen that we're seeing, and unbelievable. It is.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Let's tell you, any place could be haunted.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way.
Yep.
Agreed.
I agree.
Sometimes it's not the building. Sometimes it's the land, or
exactly.
haunted spirit.
Or the other thing people forget too is that we all have like spirit guides. We all have spirits that are with us all the time. So you could walk into a place that's not haunted, but you're bringing stuff with you, and or grandma knows that you're going to a place where you're going to be using equipment to speak to spirits. So she follows you there,
And there's a lot of Native American land over there, like in Ohio in general, especially up in the northern part next to the lake and the rivers.
Yeah.
So the land could,
For sure.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about cemeteries for the most part. I don't necessarily think it's someone that was buried there. I feel like it's more so the land or what it was prior to cemetery.
Or maybe there's like a notification system, when somebody's visiting your grave, you get notified so you could go back and see what they're saying,
I got somebody up here at they're walking around walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to believe that your spirit is with your body forever. Like, I don't know. I would want cemeteries to be the least haunted places. Like, I don't want people to be stuck with their bodies.
Yeah, that's why I don't necessarily think it's the actual graves or people that were buried there. I just feel it's the land or a caretaker or something, I don't think
a caretaker would make sense too.
See, that's
We've
what I always
talked about
say.
that before, like with the lighthouse workers and caretakers. I mean, basically anything. It was way different. People, when they had a job, they did that job for life, and their job was so important to them. Like we talked about objects earlier, like something being super important to people. When you had a job, that was like your entire life, and so it makes sense that you would continue to do that.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah.
And back, I mean, at least back in the day, it gave people purpose. Like that was their purpose. That was their responsibility.
It wasn't just a job to them; it was their life purpose.
Yeah. When I worked at Anadine Farm, when we did the ghost hunts there, a lot of the haunts there were basically employees of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to leave it.
Yeah. The caretaker that worked the basement of the pig barn was still there, still sweeping, still cleaning, still doing his job. I mean, when I did the interview on the news for that special they did for Halloween, haunted locations, that's basically what we talked about. Just him down there like sweeping away, just because it meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
Especially there, the people were treated very well. Like they were given room and board. They were, a lot of them had like mental, physical handicaps, but they were given a job. They were given a purpose.
Yeah.
So they, especially when O.C. Barber died, and the farm started going under, and they had to sell everything off. These people were left homeless. They had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And the one lady that haunted, I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Nellie? Yeah.
Nellie Brown. That's what it was. She was haunted there, but she had like horrible scoliosis, what they would used to call like humpback. Like she was hunched over, but she worked there. That was her job. That was her home, and she committed suicide when she found out that O.C. Barber had passed away and that they were selling the barn because she didn't have anywhere else to go. She had no family, so she stayed there. She wanted to stay there. That was her home. She wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
We're all just silently reading.
Yeah. We're all made up of the same energy for sure. These bodies are just vessels for this particular trip/journey. I definitely think the energy we put towards things that make us feel us might stick around. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It does seem like, because okay, no matter how much you love your job, you don't want to do it for an eternity, right? So it's always kind of bothered me that people still work at places. We get it at the seminary all the time. If you're in the kitchen, you'll hear like chatter about, can you hand me that knife? Where's the onions? Whatever, like just whatever. So I really like to think that that's residual, and it is just our energy like staining that, because the thought of like working for an eternity every single day, like still getting up and going to work is,
oh my Lord, that's terrifying. That's horrifying.
That reminds me
that it's just like life. You get up there and or wherever, and you're like, all right, gotta find a job.
Yeah.
No.
So hopefully it is just our energy staining it, and we put so much into that, so that's it's residual.
Right.
Reminds me of SpongeBob episode where he breaks this Krusty Krab, and he says, "You'll work here forever," and he sees his skeleton pushing the broom, and Squidward
So well, thanks, Tom. You just impressed the hell out of me.
Right?
So what's the most haunted place you guys ever been to?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Madison Seminary?
Obviously, I would say Madison Seminary, but I would say if I didn't have to pick an Adam Kimmel property, I would say Hinsdale.
I'm trying to think about ours. What do you think? Hotel Elmore, first of all, definitely. Woodlawn Cemetery. Yeah, Woodlawn Cemetery.
Yeah, pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of activity there.
We had a former team member. There was a spirit that was attached to his mausoleum. He went over there, and the team member was kind of douchebag to begin with. So he goes over there, and he goes, "Man, my neck hurts." And here someone scratched his neck, and he went over there. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say for me it was the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, wow.
Haven't been there yet.
Very long, I don't know.
Oh, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum wasn't too bad either. Every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's for sure on my bucket list.
Yeah, that was cool.
I haven't been around very long. I don't know.
I think that's because we've been there so many times, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
and every time we.
Well, Waverly wasn't bad. I mean,
there's a few things that.
The only problem is when you go to a place like Waverly Hills, people set it up. You know, ghost hunters, all this stuff happen.
Yeah.
You go there thinking like, off the wall, shit's gonna happen, and then
it doesn't.
Boom.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is nothing.
Yeah. The little things.
Yeah, you got little things we got, but nothing to write.
Yeah, I've been to Waverly a couple times, and I just, like you said, you go in there with these high expectations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, even like the tour guide will give you like all these crazy stories. And
Yeah.
while he's giving you the tour, he's trying to like freak you out into thinking you're seeing something and you're not. Oh, look, it's the creeper at the end of the hallway. It's coming towards you. Just shit like that. And it's like, okay. Then they leave and it's just you in the room. And it's like, I literally fell asleep in a couple of rooms while we were doing it.
It was just you and the raccoon in the room.
Yeah, that's the scariest thing that happened to me. I walked in on a raccoon that I thought was something. Because you know how everything's open to the outside? Like, it just happened like the light was coming in this window. The raccoon was on like the railing or something, edge of the balcony, shining through onto the inside wall, and it looks like the creeper that they call it. I'm like, holy shit. So I like start creeping up on it like closer and closer. And then I turn around in the room, and it's the freaking raccoon hissing at me. It scared the shit out of me.
Now that would be super scary.
I don't trust those trash bandits.
So do you think with these pay to hunt places like Mansfield, I was there for a private investigation, and then of course I went just a couple weeks ago. I noticed that on both times, beginning of the night, I had some good stuff. After there, just everything dropped. I noticed that lately with the pay to hunt places, where like when you first go there, the spirits are like, holy shit, there's new people here. Then later on, they're like, oh, fucking, we know what they're here for.
I think they get bored. I mean, I think they get bored, and I think they get tired of us asking them questions. I mean, think about how you feel. Like,
I get tired of Ray asking me questions all the time. It's usually just one.
But seriously, if I was battered with the same questions over and over again, all night long, I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm leaving."
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time.
And that's why, I don't like. I like to just have a conversation.
Yes.
So we will sit around and bullshit, and we get so many EVPs from them just joining in that conversation because we're not berarding them with, "What's your name? Where are you from?
What year is it?"
We hardly ask any questions. I think we just talk now.
Yeah. I swear to God, some of the best conversations we get underneath of what our own conversation is.
And then
I'm joining on the conversation.
Yeah, we'll kind of throw in a little bit of questioning, but it's part of the conversation.
It's just like with the rope lights now, we set them out around us, and they'll go off, and I'm like, "Oh, you're here." So then I'll shine a light on one, like, "Hey, you're still here. Make this one go off," and it will go off. Tell them that it's there. So that's what's cool about now. All this cool equipment around you now.
And that's another conversation we have a lot too. Is like, if this is a ghost from like the Victorian age, when you're throwing a cat ball, it looks like a glass ball that's glowing to them.
Yeah,
like they're probably thinking this is some kind of
witchcraft.
Black magic.
Exactly, and that's why you gotta keep it simple. Like with the rope light, we explain to it, hey, if you go by it, go change colors. Or point at one and say, can you make this one go off? Simple things that spirits can understand. But when you get into the yes or no answers on an equipment or a flashlight too, it's like hard to explain. How we have to tell can you manipulate this flashlight or anything like that.
I have a question. What are you guys' thoughts on people using the mag light and the flashlights?
Listen,
you never do it.
No, seriously. Let me know.
I always thought it was kind of bullshit. Like people would say like, oh, it just like goes off of weather, temperature, whatever. Like, and I'm like, okay, I never really put much thought into it. But we were using them one night and we had 3 of them. We had a red one, a blue one, and a black one. And for 25 minutes, we sat there and went, can you turn the blue one on? And then the blue one would come on. Can you turn all 3 of them on? All 3 of them would come on. Can you turn just the red one on? Just the red one would go on. And it did that for 25 minutes. And we were asking the questions almost as quickly as I just did.
Okay.
So ever since that night, I'm like, okay, I'm a believer.
I could never get it set up.
Even in circumstances like where it is answering those direct questions and what you're asking of it. But when someone's like, oh my gosh, the flashlight turned on. I'm like, okay, did you ask it something?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
it's just sitting there like 10 minutes later, it goes off like, oh, look.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I think it's because I like to debunk every single thing possible.
Yeah.
So if there's no other, you're asking it to light the blue one up and it does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it just, like you said, if it just randomly goes off, oh my gosh, the flashlight went off. I'm
Right.
like,
And okay, here's the other difference. I'm not going to take everything that is said through a flashlight as verse or whatever.
Fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there are people that will walk into a room and they're like, oh, well, the flashlight said there's a man named George that lives in this room. So this is forever George's room. And
man,
I'm
that
like,
is one smart flashlight.
Exactly.
Right.
Flashlight.
yeah.
You have a
So,
talking flashlight? What the fuck?
I know, right? I want that.
I'm rich.
I do believe that they can manipulate them. I do believe that they can turn them on, but I'm not going to believe every single time it lights up.
You're not going to use it as a question asking or like a research.
Yeah.
Person. Yeah.
I'm not going to write that in my book about Madison Seminary. Well, the flashlight said.
The flashlight said. And
There's no historic basis for this, but the flashlight told me it was George's room.
I see spirits, I see energies, I see all that, but it is not, to me, it's just my own personal experience. If I don't have the equipment to back that up, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to anyone other than myself.
Yeah.
And too many people say, oh, I just seen, and they told me that this name was Frank and he lives here. Okay, do you have evidence of that? You don't? Well, that's just your personal experience.
Every haunted location we go to has that room that's named after a little girl or a little boy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the difference is, like when I give somebody a tour of the building, I'm like, this is Sarah's room. Do I believe it's a little girl? No. Do I believe that we've stained the energy out, of the walls with it being a little girl's room? Yeah. I have no idea what's in here, but this is Sarah's room.
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly, Eddie. Yeah.
I don't think it's Sarah's room you have to worry about. It's the hallway when you're in Sarah's room.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. That's the area where there's a lot of what's misdirection. Like go in Sarah's room, you think you're talking to somebody in there, and then across the hallway in the other room you hear stuff.
That's the misdirection floor.
Yeah, and then you go in that room and it's back in Sarah's room or in the hallway down the hallway. It's just like you're just like chasing it everywhere.
But yeah, you get a weird feeling about the hallway when you're in Sarah's room, but it always seems to be like that when you're in Sarah's room.
Yeah.
That's when the hallway bothers me for some
I
reason.
hate it all the time.
I don't mind
when we were
I
there
want to
with
talk about Eddie's comment real quick because you guys have very different things. Like Randy likes to use all the equipment. You have your abilities, whatever.
Well, we all have our own abilities. That's what makes it great, because people look at our stuff and they're asking me, how come you can get all this thermal stuff? Well, because I know it's there. The reason why I'm taking a picture of it, because I know something there. I can feel it there. I know it's there. I mean, we all have our abilities here. This will make us a great team. If we see something, I feel something, I don't really say anything. Holly will be like, hey, there's something over there. I'm like, guess what? There is something over there.
What I typically say, put your thermal over that way, or let's put a rope light over here, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just another tool.
I'm always telling you guys what I see or what I hear.
And Bill's half Mexican, so he just sees kukui.
Exactly. He brings his rosaries.
Our abilities are just another tool to use to get that great evidence.
Right, exactly.
With equipment. That's the way I look at it.
It's like Lauren said, the rule of 3. I mean, just because you can feel it and see it, have something equipment to back it up is great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys ever have a hard time getting things like on video?
Sometimes.
Like cameras dying or like
yes. Yep, all the time.
My
all the
dad's
time.
thermal camera on his phone is never charged. Or he's
Even though it
charged
is
and then it dies.
Dies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have
Always-
3 batteries.
I always have battery backups.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I swear the camera batteries are the first thing to go. Like they know.
Right.
You're not getting us on camera.
This is, it's gonna sound so crazy, but I swear that they know that they're not allowed to be caught. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
I feel like that's why the batteries die first or malfunction all the time or whatever. Because
Yeah.
it's always like when you have the best experience, then the camera just didn't work for whatever
right.
reason.
Right.
Now, what's cool is like if you have backup, like I have a rope light camera going on. I'm in there with my thermal. My thermal would die, but my rope light's still going off, catching something too. So that's great when you have backup stuff in place.
Yeah.
See, I've always been afflicted with the fact that I have cameras pointed at certain angles, and everything that happens is at the one angle that I don't have covered.
Well, we just bought that new, the new camera system.
Oh yeah, I bought a new camera system now. If to detect some sort of movement, it moves right away.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
kinda
okay.
cool.
The
So
movement,
so
yeah,
it'll
360.
be set up in a room, just not seeing anything. I can see how it moves on its own because it's detecting some movement off the side. It's pretty cool when that happens.
That's cool.
Wow.
But those
Yeah, I
sound pretty cool.
I tell Courtney, go stand over there.
Sometimes I'm the guinea pig, and I'm okay with that.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trial by fire.
Right, exactly.
So before I forget anything, you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
Oh my God, we're a great team.
Yeah.
What do you guys got coming up that people can come and visit you at?
We're at the Elmore Portage Festival this Sunday at Elmore. We got a booth set up. We pretty great. And once again, gives us time to share evidence with the Elmore community. We had a presentation to them a couple months ago, and they really loved it. So this gives us more time to present it to people that couldn't make it.
As we were doing the presentation, we
More
had the
public.
road
Bye, Lauren.
lights set up.
Yeah.
And the road
that's
lights were
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, I would be in Port Clinton on Saturday.
Oh, there you go. Stay for Sunday.
So that's this month.
Yeah, don't we have?
July, we have another podcast with a history of a haunting coming up.
16th.
Let's see. August, we're going to the Bell Mansion.
Yes.
With
Nice.
Keith Age is having a public hunt, but it's gonna be like 25 people max. And they're gonna be filming their Urban Spirits, I believe it's called, like their final season.
Oh, okay.
So that's August. September we'll be at MadCon. And what is it? Just say it out loud.
I can't.
Oh, we have a big in October we have
That big hunt.
we're putting a big hunt together at All Glaze Village in Defiance. It is
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
the TikTok Parafam. So we've got TikTok creators from all over coming in, and it just should be a great night there. It's a big place. We'll probably have, my guess, maybe 20. It all depends on who can actually make it or not.
Cool.
So I don't know what else we have. I think
We got we're gonna do like a public ghost hunt at Woodlawn Cemetery in Norwalk.
Cool.
Some people are interested in trying it out, and so is the caretaker. He's like, I got some friends who want to find out what you guys see. I'm like, well, are you sure you want them to know?
Do you want to know?
Yeah. So we got set that up for a public ghost hunt.
I've never actually been to Woodlawn for a
Oh,
hunt.
see,
really?
And I mean, I grew up in that town.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
He used to
time.
go all the time. I just see the evidence, but never actually went myself.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure we have, and we're holding off because we may have an event coming up in Elmore. We might do a public hunt
For the community there.
for the
Yeah.
community there.
That's awesome.
So we're kind of waiting to book other stuff until we get that.
Yep.
If they want to do it this year, if they want to do it next year, we're not sure.
Right.
Okay.
So we have a lot of stuff
Yep.
coming up.
And then, of course, we're sitting around on a Friday, Saturday night. Let's do a ghost hunt somewhere.
Yeah.
You know how it comes up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
there's never a lack of places around here to go.
Yeah.
No.
Just call one person and you're there. You know.
My favorite is there's a map of like haunted locations. You know, like a little pinpoint in all the states, and it just says Ohio. Who hurt you? Because Ohio is just loaded with places that you can go.
There's a fact to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Hocking Hills, and it wasn't for any kind of investigation. Me and a friend of mine were just going down to visit her son. He was going to college there. So we decided we're going to take the cheapest route possible, and we rented this sleeper cabin at a campgrounds. I'm like, we don't need anything, just a little fridge, a bed, who cares? So I'm trying to sleep. Oh my goodness. There's something in my face all night long. I couldn't sleep. So finally I'm like, this is it. It is 5 a.m. I am getting up. I am done. So she gets up later and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't sleep. I go, yeah, why is that? She's like, something was in my face all night long. So where it was at, it was, I forget the history of it, but I'm pretty sure I think it went along the lines of they were trying to get rid of the Native Americans. And I am part Indian, and my best friend is as well.
Oh.
So I don't know if they were trying to get rid of us, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like, I paid the money to stay here. I'm staying here.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Now we went down to a friend came up a couple times. I took on a couple of investigations throughout the years, and she got married to a guy that owns a bunch of property in Homer, Ohio. I think I told you two about this before.
Yeah.
So she calls me up and it's like, hey, we have some stuff happening like you wouldn't believe. Come up and see. And she says, well, there's a bunch. I said, well, what do you mean? Like, well, there's a bunch of Indian mounds around the town. You come up and check them out. This old cemetery, check out. Then come to my land and do an investigation. You might be able to pick up something. I'm like, okay. So we set up a date. We all go there. We meet her at the mound, walk around it. We went to the cemetery, really cool cemetery. I think we got a picture of a witch that was on a tree because this actually tree that she got actually killed on.
Wow.
And then she tells us that they diverted the river in Homer and found other parts of Indian mounds in the area. So there's stuff happening all around us. So then we go to her house, and when we get there, they own like I think 30 acres of land. And she says that the neighbor next door owns like 70 acres of land, and that on the trail camera they caught a Bigfoot. No way. Yeah. So it turned into a ghost hunt, crypto hunt. So one of my former team members downloads the calls because his buddy actually does the calls for finding Bigfoot. So he downloaded the calls. Okay. We're out there a ways in the woods, and so he plays the calls and he bangs on the trees, and I hear this call. Wait about 5 minutes, I hear a call back. I went wise ago, so I'm like, fuck no, let's get out of here. For all I know, it's playing a mating call, and some Bigfoot gonna come over and see this big guy here, think I'm all love, and I'm not all love. So,
we're all about the love.
I was like, forget it. So we have to plan to go back there and do another investigation, but we just gotta be safe about it because I mean, a lot of coyotes, and I don't
let us know. I told you I got a crossbow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're thinking. Andre Member is a sheriff in Elmore, and he wants to go with us, and he's looking up all the evidence. He thinks that we would need a crossbow because of it's actually a animal that lays outside like a deer. It's probably Christy. A thick hide. Hey, Christy.
Yeah. It's 450 feet per second. I got you.
Oh, there you go.
I got a slingshot like that.
See, everyone says that we go investigation that they're standing behind me because I'm a big guy. I'm standing behind you.
Yeah, I got you. I'll be like, get behind me, guys. It's fine.
I'm just gonna stand there because I got bad knees. I'm done.
And I can run faster than you. That's fine.
Anybody can run faster than me.
Yeah, we'll just trip them when we're running.
You gotta trip me either. I'm just standing there. Hey.
I'm young. I'm
live bait. I have a shirt.
Yeah. That's what we call Heisenberg.
He's not laughing.
Squatch bait. Squatch bait.
You got Heisenberg.
Yeah, I got Heisenberg.
Yeah.
So where can people find you like on social media?
So TikTok is going to be just Bravo House Spook Seekers, and Facebook is.
It's under my name. I started it so long ago that first it was Brave House Spook Seekers, but they changed the policies, had to have a name on it, so it's under Randy Zimmerman. But you can look up both; it comes up. I gotta get it. I'm trying to get hold of Facebook and go through the process of changing it back to what it is.
Yeah.
But
Good luck.
Facebook's our dicks.
With the worst customer service
And we
ever.
haven't really started. I think we have a YouTube. We just haven't really done anything with it yet.
Right. Yeah.
We had some posts like when COVID happened, I was laid off. We did some reaction videos like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Brothers, making fun of them. It was fun. I mean,
the one we did.
All those videos would be just me sitting here like, oh god.
Right, exactly.
God.
Monster Hunters.
Something like that.
With the good old boys with big old beers that want to shoot and trap it. Awesome show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Put a nice wig on. Had me a shotgun.
So someone always asks me, since we do it so much, what's the last ghost hunting show you guys watched, like on major TV? Like I haven't really seen one in a long time.
Me either.
I don't watch them.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of them.
I couldn't remember because I haven't watched it for so.
I finally caught up with a couple Resident Undead videos on YouTube.
I'll watch like if
YouTube.
I know the person that's on the show, or if I know the location that's on the show, like I'll watch it. But I don't watch any of those.
Probably, I mean, if you're talking like mainstream shows, I don't even really consider them ghost hunting shows, but I watch like Expedition Unknown. But he's like looking for
Josh Gates.
There goes Ray defending Josh Gates again.
I do watch The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. I
love that show. Yes.
And Expedition Bigfoot. I love that show.
Yeah.
But it's just different. I mean, you just watch so many ghost hunting shows, it all becomes the same thing after.
Hey, did you join the Skinwalker Ranch thing so I can see the web cameras online?
No, I want to though.
I just did that. I just did that last night.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a nerd.
I'm afraid if I do that, that's all I'm gonna do is just sit here. Like,
exactly. Leave me alone. I'm watching my cameras on.
When I first started going to the Knickerbocker Hotel ghost hunting, they had like live webcams going.
Did they stop that?
I don't know. I haven't really looked, but like they had live webcams and then like a chat going on at the same time. Like everybody's like, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?" Then you have the idiots like, "Oh no, that's nothing." You know, it's like whatever. But it was, I get it's addictive. You just sit there and you just watch it, like waiting for something to happen. But, I think Skinwalker Ranch is probably if you paranormal. That had maybe to do with something like ghosts or spirits. Yeah, that's probably the last.
So, what do you think is there?
I think it's I think it's in the land. There's something with the geology of the land that's
I think
attracting all this stuff.
I think it's maybe some portals. I think something's actually in the mountainside because they said there used to be like a tunnel there at one point.
Yeah,
and maybe the government closed up. But it's interesting how. Like I don't have regular cable, so I have to wait for it to come out and watch the season.
We don't have cable, but we have every other thing there.
I tell you now, people need to stop that shit, unearthing stuff, and just let everything go.
It's so funny because one of their sayings on the show is something always happens when we dig. So what do they do? Hey, we're gonna dig over at this place. And we're gonna go deeper.
Right.
We're all dead.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Something's gonna come out of that ground.
Yeah.
Stop digging.
Well, guys, it's about that time. We've hit the 10 o'clock mark, and so it's about time to sign off. I want to thank you guys. It's been a quick 2 hours. I mean,
anytime. It's been fun. Yeah, next time you want us on there, I'll hook up my actual my stuff with all the stuff on there for all.
So we could see the video.
Yeah.
So you see the video, yeah.
So we can see the fucking video.
I'm gonna forget.
Awesome, guys. It's good to like be able to talk and get to know you guys better. I mean, we've seen you at the cons, but you get to stay high for like 5 minutes and you got to run back to your own table. So
not enough time.
But we'll do this again, and hopefully, maybe we can collab on something and get together and do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
love that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, everybody watching tonight. Thank you for joining us. It was
Bye,
an
everybody.
amazing night. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
And please don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
There goes the rest of my night.
That's
we love you guys. We'll see you next time. Crypto Habits, Cryptic Paranormal Show.
Smile.
Eddie, you smile.
Heisenberg got smile.